Hi guys, I've just started cleaning out the hamsters, sorry, the guinea pigs, so I can move them in. And the hamster came out, so I now need to feed him because I completely forgot to feed him. And yeah, so he's due some food. So I've just currently started changing out the fleece in here. It is really, really hot in this room. So everything has been double fleeced. Double toweled, sorry, so I need to add the fleece. I need to kind of sort out this area because I'm debating putting the new boy here, so that will happen at some point today. It is so hot today and it's only 16 degrees, but I am sweating. But yeah, I'm just gonna go feed the hamster now and scatter feed him some of his seed mix, and then yeah, I'm gonna see what else needs doing with him as well, and then bring the girls in. So here's Mr. Ham. He needs a bit of a spot clean, but yeah, he's up. So I've nearly finished the girls, well, the herd's cage. I just need 2 bath mats, so I need one extra one there and I need one there. I'm also planning on getting rid of this wardrobe here and this one here, so I can make the cage longer, because eventually this will house 2 heads at some point. It is really, really hot. Yes, I'm just going to see if I have any in my spare pile. I need to go put some substrate in the 2 litter trays and some hay, and then I'm done. So I have now sorted out the cage and done the nuggets. I need to go and do their veg now, which is already prepped. I just need to throw it in. So I've done all their hides, all their bowls with the nuggets. As you guys can see, I don't actually feed a lot of pellets because I don't believe in it. I think for me, pellets are something that they can live without. I just feed it because I have a large herd and I can't guarantee that everyone's going to get everything they need in terms of their veggie diet, because obviously there's a hierarchy. So hence why we feed pellets, but they only get a tablespoon each. So yeah, and then the hay's all done. As you guys can see, I put a lot of hay in there in the litter trays, which is a 5+120 and a 5+100, partially because it encourages them to burrow in it a little bit. They burrow slightly differently to hamsters in the sense of they just kind of sit under it, whereas hamsters actually dig tunnels and things. But yeah, so I'm going to add another tunnel. I'm going to add a cat tunnel, and I just need to wait for a bath mat to dry. But that is it. I am absolutely sweating. I need to bring the pigs in now though, so let's go get them. So I have popped the head in. They're currently just eating their nuggets over there. Little miss is just sat over here. She's a little bit scared. But yeah, everyone else is just pottering now around. I generally cannot get over how hot it is in this room. Like, I'm absolutely boiling. So yeah, there is Pippin coming to check on her. It will take her time, obviously, to adjust, because this is a really large habitat for her and it's a really large setup, and it is probably a little bit overbearing because obviously she has all these different pigs around her too, and it's probably a lot. But yeah, so far everyone is doing good. I think for me, as long as she doesn't get picked on, I'm fine with everything really, because obviously she has to figure it out by herself. She's obviously a very scared little lady. I'm just gonna kind of plop her around so she can kind of see what is kind of happening, but she's really, really nervous. She's used to living in a smaller cage. She's not actually used to living in a herd, so this is obviously a lot for her. I have no idea why her bum pops up like that. I have had that checked by a vet. I have no idea what's going on with her hips, but that's just her. I'm hoping when I go to their veggies, I'm going to leave them for a little bit and give them their veggies a little bit later. It is like 10 o'clock now. So I'm going to leave their veggies about 10:30, 11, just to give her some time to adjust to all of this, really. But yeah, that's just her. I am considering for my male, obviously I've got castrated, giving him a little 2x3 in this cage here, just so he can have some time with the other pigs and things, and it gives him some social interaction potentially. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do for him yet in terms of just giving him some interaction with the other pigs. But yeah, poor girl is really, really nervous. Hi guys, so I actually decided to change my mind and start doing stuff now. I am absolutely sweltering. So I started to sort out the new boys section in that side of the cage. So I basically felt really bad for him because obviously he doesn't have any social companions to interact with. So I was like, okay, what can I do for him? So I thought, why not put him? So I've basically done it. So obviously the girls still have a lot of space. As you guys can see, they have a lot of room. It's equivalent to like a... I'm not actually sure. It's equivalent to quite a decent sized CNC cage anyway, still for them. Like, they've got a Fair Plus 120 and they've got a Fair Plus 100. And they've got all this extra room here, and so far they're not bothered. Plus they're going out on the runs now during the day, so they've got a lot of space, to be fair. I am really, really allergic to the hay I'm currently using. I'm currently using a mix between Timothy and Meadow hay. And I'm really, really allergic to Timothy hay, but these guys don't eat the wheatgrass hay anymore. Or the, not wheatgrass hay, the oatgrass hay or the ryegrass hay that I was using. These guys refuse to eat. So I have to use the mix of the Timothy and the Meadow, which my allergies can't really cope with. So the plan is the new boy is going to go in this little 3x2 section so we can have some social interaction, because I kind of feel really bad for him that he doesn't actually have anything. And it's going to be, because I need to see when work has some availability for a castration, which I don't think there's, because I think there's 12 guinea pigs I heard that were getting castrated within a week, like, because they're castrated a lot. So now there's a rescue in Warrington, isn't specifically guinea pigs, where they get guinea pigs in. And there's a guinea pig rescue in Cheshire now that uses the same vets that I do for all their castrations for every male now, which I think is actually great, because I think it opens up options if your boys fall out to have them with females, which is the most bond proof from what I've only had 2 unsuccessful bonds out of however many bonds I've done. So yeah, it's a very high success rate, to be honest. So I am going to obviously get, and I fully agree with it, but it just means I have no appointments free for a bit. And here's Miss Peaches, who was one of my foster, well, she's supposed to be a foster, but I've decided to keep her. She's a Swiss pig. She's my absolute favourite guinea pig, I think, in this group, next to Pippin, maybe? Pippin's a favourite for sure. But yes, and I just need to go set up his little section. I am absolutely full of it. So I'm going to go set it all up now for him. Hi guys, I finally finished doing his little setup. So basically, one of my girls is a climber. Not that one. Where is she? I actually have no idea where she is. But yeah, one of my girls is a climber, so I have to basically double this just so she can't climb into his habitat to breed, because I'm terrified that he's going to get one of them pregnant. So he has currently got that 3x2 section. It's a little bit more than 3x2, but yeah. So he can now vocalise and communicate. I always say, even if, for example, if I had a boy who couldn't actually live with the girls, this is the next best solution for them, because it gives them the time and the space to vocalise via the bars. They can communicate, they can show dominance, they can show submission via the bars, and they can kind of still be with the head but not with the head. And for boys who are waiting to be castrated, or who are castrated and who are waiting, they can have this, which is great for them, where they can socially interact, which I just think is really nice for them. So that's the one great thing about CNC cages, like, he can socially interact with them. I don't know why he really, really, really reminds me of Albert from the back. From the front he doesn't, obviously. Albert had a little bit of white on him. He eats so weirdly. I have actually had her teeth checked and her teeth are completely fine, but she eats really, really stupidly. I think he's going to start popcorning soon. Oh, I'm so allergic to this hay. Hi guys, so excuse this group, they're actually due a spot clean. This was actually spot clean this morning, and this is what they do in less than 24 hours. So I'm actually just about to prep their veg. So I don't think I've really talked about my guinea pigs vegetable. I will make a separate video on it, but the current diet I follow is 10% of their body weight in veg, which, so for example, this group of 4, they get 400 grams, because each of them is around about a kilogram, give or take. Bar Haggerty is 900 grams, but I'm not fussed on 10 grams. And then and that will then get split into 2 vegetable meals. So I don't personally believe feeding it all at once is great, because it can cause an upset stomach, but it is better to feed multiple meals, because in the wild they wouldn't naturally eat one large meal. But if they've been out in the grass all day, for example, like the big herd, they will only get 1 veg feeding, because they tend not to actually want to eat their tea or their breakfast or whatever. Depends on when I'm putting them out. So yeah, so I tend to vary it between 5 different types of vegetables to 4 different types of vegetables a day. Bar bell peppers or bar romaine lettuce, I tend to keep them to like the staples. They then will get a tablespoon of pellets each per pig. So for example, this group, they'll get 4 tablespoons. They then also have unlimited hay. Now they've just dragged everything out their hay rack into that big litter tray there, but it just tends to work for us. So I'm going to prep their veg. So I tend to rotate my vegetables. So I've got some beetroot here, and I've got some parsley, I've got some pak choy, some lettuce, some spring greens, celery, this spring mix sort of thing. And they don't get the same veg every single day. Personally, I think people are a little bit sensitive with calcium. They do actually need calcium. Like, you do need to be careful, but they do also need it, and they do also need variety. So they get, I've noticed people tend to feed the same vegetables every single day, which is not really giving your pigs variety, and it can actually make them a piggy eater. So I do try to like variety for the pigs. So let's prep the veg. So I've currently just finished prepping all the vegetables for the morning. So we have just some, so for the new little boy, he obviously has less, he's got 50 grams. The smaller head I've got 200 grams, because there's only 4 of them. Larger head I've got 450 because there's 9 of them, and my biggest head, because there's 11, have got 550. So like I mentioned before, this is half of their day's vegetables. They will get 2 of these servings. It varies in size, because obviously it varies in terms of whether I'm feeding more leafy greens or whether I'm feeding slightly more root vegetables or heavier vegetables that weigh it down a little bit. But yeah, I always say variety is kind of the spice of life for these guys. It does also health-wise. As a vet nurse, I always say the better diet you can give, the better health-wise. Like, my pigs are not fat pigs because I don't feed a lot of veg. I find as a vet nurse, a lot of people overfeed overfeed nuggets. Sorry, I don't overfeed nuggets. So for example, with their pellets, they literally get a tablespoon each. Vegetables are actually a lot more important than what people think, and people worry quite a lot with veg in terms of variety and things. I find a lot of people feeding peppers, different types of lettuce, and carrots, that's it. Whereas I don't think people realise they can have a lot more, and it's actually very important for them to have things like kale and their cruciferous vegetables, and their vegetables such as their cabbages and their things like that. If you're feeding just cabbage, yes, it will cause a problem. But if you're feeding, like for example this, there isn't tons of lettuce, there isn't tons of herbs, there isn't tons of one specific veg. It's a mix. Obviously it's a little bit more lettuce because it's the most easiest for them to digest, but my pigs are used to the variety, so it doesn't actually upset their stomachs. I also feed a grain-free pellet because I think that helps quite a lot. But yeah, I always say also rinse your vegetables too. But yeah, that is just their veg for the morning. But also looking at the weather tomorrow, this will be their only veg feeding because they'll be out on the grass. And I move their run around constantly, so they're constantly eating when they're on the grass, and they tend not to get full. And so they tend to get full, so when they then come in, they tend not to want their greens, so hence why we don't even feed greens in the evening. I may give some kale or like a piece of broccoli each to them, only just because they need their vitamin C. I also do not believe in vitamin C supplements. I think it's a waste of time. I don't know why people really push for it, because the little tablets that you see sold, they don't really do much, and the water form, it puts them off their veg. Not the veg, sorry, the water. So Hi guys, so it's actually the next morning. So the bond went pretty smoothly last night. I came and checked on them a couple of times. She was sat in the listeries with them. I'm not sure where she is at the moment. She's not under there. She's probably in the lister actually, but she's not sure where she is at the moment. But last night went as smoothly as it could. I've noticed with having a larger head, bonding doesn't really seem to bother them at all at the moment. They just tend to accept them. So typically when I bond, I do tend to just go straight for neutral territory. I don't normally believe in split cages. I only do split cages for the boys who are waiting to be castrated so they can still socialise. But generally, even if I'm doing male to male introductions, I will just go straight for neutral territory, because you can sometimes see pigs who get along really, really nicely via the bars and then hate each other when they're in together. So I always say you should be doing neutral territory for about 5 hours, just hay piles or just on the grass, etc. And then do a bond, and then if they've had several hours of no actual blood drawn, like, they will argue, they will kick each other, they will teeth chatter, they will hump, like, they have to do all this stuff for dominance. But as long as they show no actual aggression, you have got yourself a successful bond. So she just doesn't like me at the moment. He is actually not bothered. He's a pretty confident boy. He's eating his greens and things. I might pop them out on the grass today. He may go on the grass. These definitely will. He might. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But yes, the plan is to pop everyone out today. So yeah, I shall see you guys in a little bit when I pop the guys out potentially. Let's go. So the pigs are all out on the grass and with loads of shade. So I've got some sheets and things. Just there's some shade for them all. So here's this group. So I cut the grass and left all the long bits for them. There's this group. I don't put the lid on. Little Mr. Gunther is having his first time out on the run too. He decides not to focus on the bars. Just back there. I was just chatting away, which is great for their social. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks. Yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.